Evening, people. Just a little evening sports talk tonight, and just gonna have a little catch up and just speak about all the sport that we've had this weekend. Starting with the Premier League, and starting with my team, Arsenal. So for those that know, I support Arsenal. Been a lifelong Gooner, and we're just gonna talk about our aspirations to get into the top four this season. So anyway, so we played West Ham this weekend. And it was a nervy little game, and to be honest, I wasn't 100% impressed with our performance, but at the same time I'm grateful for the win. But looking at our performance, we started off, in my opinion, a bit too slow. You know, like everyone was saying before the game, West Ham have got one eye on Europe and this and that, and we've had a longer rest and we're fresh and this and that. Looking at the game, it didn't look like it at all. West Ham looked more energetic and recharged than us. We looked like tired, lethargic. I just don't know what was wrong with us. We started too slow for my liking, but I think with us, we kind of gradually got into the game. And then, but West Ham were on us. They were on us. Like from the start, they started fast and knocking the ball around. You know, we didn't get that much of the ball, but I always felt within myself that we're gonna get a goal at some point. And then, just before half time, I think it was around the 35th minute, a little crossing, and Holding got the header, and then, we was going crazy watching that. But at the same time, we got the goal, but I just know how my team are. I know how Arsenal are. And then before you know it, I must have went in the kitchen and come back, like West Ham scored. So it's just typical. It didn't surprise me anyway. So they scored just before half time, and I was thinking that's a bad time to kind of give away a goal, but I still had hope, and I still knew that we have to win this game. A draw's no good to us. So I know that we're gonna really push the issue at some point. But coming out for the second half, West Ham again, they were on us as well, and the game started to open up a little bit more because obviously they want the points. They're not really playing for anything, to be honest, but we know that we need the points and we have to win. Like a draw it's no good, especially Tottenham winning, and they won, I think they beat Leicester 3-1 earlier that day, so we had to win. We knew what we had to do, so we went out there, and we started to get into the game a bit more. Saka was playing good. Our defence, I'm not too sure, because Tavares, or Tavares, however you want to pronounce it, I don't know, sometimes he's like a little bit of a liability. He's clumsy, but then he does good things as well. But I think with him, it's just a confidence thing, because he's starting to get a little bit of a run now. So I think he's starting to get his little rhythm. But some of the things I see him do, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not professional, and I know I wouldn't make that sort of mistake. So I just think it's a confidence thing with him, to be honest. I just think that he's just finding his feet again, because when he first started, he hit the ground running for the few games that he came in when Tierney was injured. But now, since he got pulled off a couple times in the last couple months, it's like he's lost all his confidence, and I don't know, he's a bit shaky still, to be honest. But he was doing some mad stuff on the pitch, but Xhaka was helping him out and keeping him, and keeping the confidence that you could see. He was sort of just mentally keeping him together. It was weird, but he was helping him out. But not even just him, to be honest. I wasn't impressed with none of the defence other than Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu played. He came back from his injury. I personally want to put him straight in there. I don't know. The manager does this all the time. But Tommy came back and he played good, man. He played a good game. You can see the difference when Tomiyasu's playing compared to when he's not playing. The defence just looks more solid, and he just knows what he's doing. I feel confident when, like, one of their left wingers are trying to go at Tommy. I just feel like, he's got him. So, but Tomiyasu had a good game. Gabriel, 50-50. It was all right. It was average. It wasn't nothing special at all. I wasn't that impressed with him. The only defender I was impressed with was Tomiyasu, coming back off a long injury. But the rest of them, all shaky, to be honest. Midfield, I was really impressed with El Neni. El Neni's he's been, like, I'm forgetting about Partey. That's how good El Neni's been playing. He's been playing really good. He's covered really well for Partey since he's out injured. And Xhaka, to be honest, Xhaka's been playing all right. I mean, he didn't have the greatest game Saturday gone, but he didn't have the worst. But You know, it was an important game. It was a game that we had to win, and we couldn't afford a draw. We definitely couldn't afford a loss. So it was just one of those games. The pressure was on them, especially, like I said, Tottenham winning earlier. And then, we went for it. So we got our goal. Holding got the header. They equalised with, I can't remember who scored their goal. Bowen or something. One of their guys scored. I can't even remember, to be honest. But it was the wrong time for us to concede a goal going up to half-time. And it's like, oh my God, typical Arsenal. But you know how it is with Arsenal. They like to give presents out and give little gifts. And we gave another gift. But we still, I just knew somehow, I just thought, no, we've got to get another goal. And then, we were just on them. It was 2 set pieces, funny enough. And the thing is, like, 2 of their defenders were out. 2 defenders of theirs were out. And it was 2 set pieces. So I think normally their defenders, they usually got like quite tall defenders. Usually they would have probably dealt with those little crosses in that we scored our goals from. But obviously if they're not there, they've got people in on standby who ain't really up to the job. And it was what it was. But West Ham, I was impressed with them. They played well, and they passed the ball really good. And you know, that guy, the young, what's his name, Rice, I think he's a really good player. He definitely looks like one for the future. Definitely one for England to. He's gonna be good. I don't think West Ham will keep him for too long, because I think one of the bigger teams are gonna come in for him. But he's definitely one to look out for. But West Ham played really good. They were knocking the ball about quite comfortably. The possession was good. They held their shape quite well. It's just, you could say, 2 little lapses. And then that's really why they lost. We played all right, but it wasn't our best performance. Definitely weren't our best performance, but we done what we had to do. We needed to win, and we got the win. And that's one thing that I like about the Arsenal team this year. There's a bit more fight in them than like previous years. Usually we'd give away a goal at half time, going back last season or the season before, and that would be it. We'll come out second half, heads down, and probably go 2-1 down, and probably just lose 2-1 or 3-1, and that's it. But this season he's that's why I have to give Arteta a bit of credit, because I know a lot of people, Arteta in, Arteta out. I don't even care about all that. I just want the team to just finish as high as they possibly can. He's he ain't my first choice manager, but nevertheless he's still the team's manager. So you just gotta, you know, if you just support the team and hope that they can just qualify for Europe at least, and then not just qualify for Europe, get the right players in so we can actually compete with these so-called European elite teams, and not even just that, compete with the teams in the Premier League. So, you know, just try and get behind him and, you know, support the team as well. And you know, we got the win. It was needed. Tottenham now, the pressure's back on them because they've got to go to Anfield. I think, they're going to Anfield, and they have to win that game to kind of keep the pressure on us. And I just can't see it happening. I know that Tottenham, you never know what you're going to get with Tottenham because they're so up and down. I mean, but Liverpool are just too ruthless right now. But, you know, with Kane and Son in the team, anything's possible, because, look at Son's goal against Leicester this weekend just gone. I mean, Son, if we had 2 forwards like Kane and Son, we would have secured Champions League football already. So I just don't know what's going on at Tottenham, because you got 2 class forwards like that, and you're still messing around and losing to teams or not beating teams like Brentford when the pressure's on. When they could have comfortably been in 4th place, even pushing for 3rd. But you know, that's just Tottenham for you at the end of the day. But I just think, I'm not sure what's going to happen with them. I don't know if the manager's going to leave if they don't qualify for Champions League, because we're already hearing little links with PSG and stuff like that. So it's all getting interesting in the last 4 games of the season. But I believe Arsenal can do it. I don't want to get too carried away like a lot of these other fans, but I just think that if we go to Leeds, if we can just... Actually, sorry, Leeds are coming to us. Leeds are coming to the Emirates. So if we can just get that win, and like I say, if Liverpool can do us a favour and just annihilate Spurs, and then we'll go to the Lane 5 points up. So I think if we get... we need to go Tottenham and win, to be honest, just to cement everything. So, you know, we can't have that mentality of going there and thinking, get a draw, because if we go thinking like that down at Tottenham's ground, we'll end up losing. And I know we can we can definitely beat them on our day. And at the same time, if they're having a good day, they could beat us. We've just got to just go there and just be on point with everything. We can't have no silly mistakes like we keep doing. As much as we're scraping through and winning these games, well, we've won our last 3 and we lost the previous 3 before that. We can't afford silly mistakes. Not at this point of the season. This is like the, what they call it, the business end. This is where, you know, there's no time for errors, slip-ups, mistakes. Because if like 2 losses, and that could be it. I mean, we've already secured Europa, but that's not really what we want. We want the Champions League. We've been out of it for too long. We can't attract the players that we really want down at Arsenal unless we're getting Champions League football. It's just the way it is. And people are saying, oh, the players should want to play for Arsenal. It's just, we're not in that time no more. It's not the days of when the players live around the corner and all that. Them days are done. It's all about money now. And if you are not in the big competitions like the Champions League, you're not going to get the Benzemas, the Haalands and players like that. So we want them sort of players, even though we know at this precise moment we're not going to get them sort of players, but we've got to get the next best ones. And we can still attract decent players because, was it the rumours are saying Jesus wants to come to Arsenal? That apparently we've agreed personal terms with him. I don't know how true that is, but this is what's going around. So hopefully, if that is true, you know, that's a great place to start, because I think Jesus is a brilliant forward. I'd love to have him at Arsenal. I mean, he's way better than anything we've got at this moment in time. So if he was to come to Arsenal, we'd you know, greet him with open arms. We'd gladly take him. And obviously we've got Lacazette that's leaving, and I think it's the right time for Lacazette to leave, because moving forward, he's not what we want, and you know, he's not really a threat, is he? He's got no pace. He's not really scoring. Everyone keeps talking about holding up play, but he cost us 50 mil. And we ain't spending £50 million for a player to hold up the ball. Look at Nketiah. He can hold up the ball, and he's got pace. He's more of a threat than Lacazette. So I think that, and he hasn't even signed a new contract, so he possibly could be leaving as well. So I just think that Arsenal, we need 2 strikers. And if they're telling the truth about Jesus and all the speculation and rumours, we should go for Jesus, and then we should get someone else. We need 2 potent strikers. We just need 2 potent strikers. And then I would keep, if that was the situation, we've got 2 decent strikers, Jesus and I don't know, Nunez or someone like that. Then keep Eddie as like a sub, a super sub, because he will get games. He's saying he wants to play, but obviously if you've got 2 forwards, someone's going to get injured at some point. So you're going to get to fill in and you can get your chance, because at this moment in time he's getting to play, so he's getting a little run, and we can see that he's got potential. He's only 22, so he can obviously improve. He's going to get better. So he just needs to stay at Arsenal, because realistically, if you leave Arsenal, you're not going to go to a bigger club than Arsenal. You're only going to go to, I don't know, not even Newcastle, because they're looking to spend a lot of money on like big players. So you're going to go to someone, even like a Villa, maybe at Everton, and that's not really going to help you that much. So in my opinion, he's better off staying, learning and just learning the trade with us, you know, as a super sub or something like that, and he'll get better anyway, and he will get his opportunity. You know, you got to fight for your place, and that's what we need at Arsenal. We need players fighting for their place, trying to prove that they're worthy of playing for the club, not just players that are coming to just pick up their little pay and then go home. We need players fighting for their position at the club. So next season's going to be interesting, but we need a new left back, definitely. Tavares, shaky. We need another centre back. I think we should get Saliba back. I definitely think we need Saliba. If we're not going to bring him back, get someone else who's just as good, if not better. But I would like to see Saliba actually play for the club, like just see what he's about in the Premier League, because he looks good. You know, he looks decent out there in France, but you know, we just want to see what he can do in the Premier League for Arsenal. So that would be good. Like I said, 2 strikers. We know we need that. We need a backup for Saka, because he's doing too much. He's too young. He shouldn't have that big burden, and sometimes he's just carrying the whole team on his back, and I think that's too much responsibility for a 20-year-old. So we need some reinforcements. I personally think we need like 5 or 6 players to really like just half a team about half a team or more. But whether Arsenal will do that, that's another thing. But we got to get serious in the transfer market, because even if we get to the Champions League, we're scraping it. Like, if we had proper strikers, this would have been wrapped up already. But this is what I'm saying. So we missed the opportunity in January to get the reinforcements. So we can't afford for another season of this, because what will happen is we'll slip down the table. Everyone's going to strengthen their team. Tottenham's going to strengthen their team, regardless of whether they finish 4th or 5th or wherever. We know Chelsea always strengthen their team, although they ain't got no owners. Whoever buys them is going to be as rich as Abramovich anyway. And Man City and Liverpool are just on a totally different level anyway, and they're always strengthening their team season after season. So we got to get serious. Now's the time. There's no time to mess around no more. And as an Arsenal fan, we've suffered for too long anyway. So we really need to get serious in this transfer market. The manager really needs to buy players that can do the job, not someone for the next 5 years and all that rubbish we've been doing for God knows how long. We need players that are ready now. And we've got a lot of the youth. We don't need no more youth. We need players that are young-ish but not too young. We need maybe 25-year-olds, 27, people with experience that have maybe played and won something in another league or another country somewhere. We got to buy big now. We've got the money. We know we've got the money. We just got to invest in the right players for Arsenal. But time will tell. Four games left, and yeah, we're going to see how it ends. But I'm confident, not too confident, but I've got confidence that we will finish above Tottenham. So yeah, hopefully, we'll see how it all ends. But yeah, that's football. But moving on to boxing now, because there was a big fight this weekend. Amanda Serrano, and yeah, that was a really big fight. So I don't know who stayed up to watch it, but I was up. I think started about 4:30 in the morning UK time, and yeah, it lived up to all the hype, all the expectation. Them two ladies went out and they just warred it out from the first round up until the last round. It was a good fight, man. The way it started, I was thinking like Taylor was just in and out with her footwork, because you know she's got like superior footwork compared to Serrano. Serrano has just got the power. She's just got the heavy hands. But yeah, it was a good fight. She couldn't touch Taylor in the first couple rounds, but when she did touch her, you know, you could see the effect, and you know Taylor didn't like it. And then as the rounds went on, like, you know, she couldn't close the gap for, I'd say, about 2 to 3 rounds, but then she started landing and then closing the gap, and then getting closer, and then Taylor was tying her up and stuff like that. But then she was still boxing smart, in and out, using the jab and using her speed, but she started to slow up, and by the 5th round she got tagged. And I think if there was another minute in that 5th round, Taylor, she was out on her feet, she wouldn't have made it. But somehow she stayed in, and she just got out of the 5th round. But that fight was just full of action. That was one of the best fights I've seen this year. I was glad that I stayed up to watch it. But in my opinion, I personally think Serrano just edged it, just because she was landing the better shots, the more powerful shots, and all of her shots were damaging. And you can see Taylor. Look at Taylor's face at the end of the fight. Even though that doesn't tell the full story of the fight, because it was close. It wasn't all one way. She was getting off a lot of jabs and moving in and out, and she was picking her shots well. But she was getting stalked for most of the fight. I'd say at least half of the fight or more. She was running like on her back feet, and she wasn't really effective off her back feet. Not like how Floyd would do it, like on the back foot, bang bang jabbing, and you know, it wasn't like that. She was on her bike like for most of the fight, and yeah, Serrano was hunting her down, and she was landing as well, and you could see it was hurting Taylor. And I just think that she got another generous decision. I don't know what it is why she keeps getting these decisions, but it was close, saying that. But I suppose some people look at it like, if you're going to beat the champion, you've got to rip the belt off the champion. I personally don't agree with that. I think if you win the fight, you win the fight. But you know how it is. So, but they gave it to Taylor, and yeah, the rematch, they're going to run it back in Ireland, and I think it's pointless, because if you're fighting Serrano where she's from in New York, Madison Square Gardens, and they gave the decision to Taylor, what do you think is going to happen when they go Ireland? It's going to be you're going to have to literally knock her out cold to get that decision. And even then, they'll probably still try and give it to Taylor. So it's pointless. I just think that, I mean, I'll watch it because it was action-packed, and you never know. If Serrano catches her clean, you know, it could be lights out, because she almost had her, but I think she has to knock her out to win. So if she doesn't, it's gonna be interesting. But I felt a bit sorry for her, but she didn't seem bothered. She was just happy. I think she was just happy that she got paid a lot. But I would have been fuming. I'd have been making up a lot of noise, because I think at best it was a draw, but it was still close. So you know it is in boxing anyway. It's too much politics, but it's still great fight, and I definitely want to see the rematch, because that was one of the best fights this year after the Errol Spence fight a couple of weeks ago. So, but yeah, so we're gonna probably once a week we're gonna do like a little catch up, and we're gonna talk all sports and whatever's going on, like sports wise. But I'm gonna go back to what I used to do. We're gonna do some MMA videos soon, because that's how the channel started, and it was with MMA, and I love MMA, and I know a lot of people get at me and they want me to talk about like the main events that are going on, some of the Bellator events and some of the UFC events. So we're going to do a bit of that as well. But just leave your comments in and I'll get back to you, and yeah, I'll see you with another video.